want to see me, Mr. Allen?
Come on in, Audrey. One of the fourth graders found this on the playground. It's a copy of Cinderella. She thought it was a library book, but I think it belongs to you.
Mine? What makes you think it's, mine?
Because it says right here, this book belongs to Audrey.
Oh. Well, you can keep that old book. I don't want it anymore.
What's wrong, Audrey? Is it this? Somebody marked on some of the pictures in this book. Is that why you're upset?
I'm not upset. I did that coloring on purpose. And it's my book that my favorite cousin Richie, who's almost a grown-up, gave me, and no one can be mad at me because it's mine. And anyway, like I said, I don't want it anymore. Well, I gotta go now.
Hold on a minute. It's not like you to mark up a book. Can you tell me a little more about it?
Do I have to?
No, but I'm wondering what it is about this book that made you want to color all over it.
I've been noticing something. Cinderella doesn't look like me. None of my fairy tales look like me. Look at Cinderella. See? Yellow hair, blue eyes. Look at Snow White. Her skin is light as snow. Look at Goldilocks, golden hair. They don't look like me. And they all look like Amy McAllister.
I know what you mean, and I think I know how you feel, too.
No, you don't. Nobody knows.
Hey, wait a minute. Cinderella doesn't look like me either.
Of course not. You're a man. You could never be Cinderella.
But I'm also a black man. No one in Cinderella or Peter Pan or Little Red Riding Hood looks like me either, and it bothers me.
I guess that's why I scribbled in the book. I knew I shouldn't do it, but it made me so mad. And it hurt my feelings, too.
It's awful to feel left out. When I was your age, most of the people on television were white, and boy, did that make me mad. Sometimes I wanted to kick in the television.
Did you?
Nope, but I sure wanted to.
Well, what did you do?
I talked to my mom and dad about it.
And did they help you?
Well, some. They told me that it was wrong that there weren't more of different kinds of people on television and in the movies. And they also told me that they and lots of other people were working really hard to change it. But you know something? I felt better, but I didn't feel good. It seems that some things take a long time to change. And it's hard to wait.
I want this to change now.
I know you do.
Why does everyone in Cinderella have white skin?
Well,
I asked my dad, and he said that Cinderella was made up in Germany hundreds of years ago when most people didn't travel much. Probably there weren't lots of different colored people there.
the story is old, but this book was published just a few years ago.
Yeah, but did the artist who made those pictures live in Germany hundreds of years ago?
No, it says here she lives in New York City.
Well, then no fair. If the artist is alive today, then she's seen lots of people with lots of different colors, and she should have put some of them in this book.
I'm going to say to you what my parents said to me. It's wrong and it isn't fair.
And are you working to change things just like they did?
Uh-huh. That's why I make sure that the library has stories about different kinds of people. Not just from this country, but from all over the world. Chinese fairy tales, African folk tales, Scandinavian fairy tales, and Native American legends, and lots of modern stories, too.
But other stories aren't Cinderella. Everybody knows Cinderella. There's a movie about her. We play Cinderella. At least, we used to.
Oh, that's right. Aren't some of the kids in your class doing a play of Cinderella?
Yeah, and it was my idea. And it was gonna be so neat. then something happened. See, Francine, Arthur, Caroline, and I were planning the play. Mrs. Clark says that we can do Cinderella for the whole school. Isn't this a great idea?
Yeah, I'm glad you thought of it, Audrey.
And it's good that I'm going to be in it because I know everything about putting on plays. I'm going to be a movie star when I grow up.
My mom says she'll help with the costumes.
I have a fairy costume at home.
And I have a beautiful ball gown costume, which is a good thing since I want to be Cinderella.
But that's silly. You can't be Cinderella.
Why not? This whole play was my idea. I should be Cinderella.
Yeah, why can't Audrey be Cinderella? This thing was her idea.
Because Cinderella doesn't look like Audrey. I saw a movie once of Cinderella, and she had yellow hair and blue eyes.
Hey, that's right. I had a book of Cinderella, and she does have yellow hair and blue eyes. And her skin is a lot whiter than Audrey's, too. I thought she looked just like Amy McAllister.
Hey, let's ask Amy McAllister to be Cinderella.
Amy McAllister would make a perfect Cinderella. And I bet she'd fit right into your ball gown, Audrey. Let's go find Amy.
Cool. Let's go find Amy.
I hope I get to be the prince. Come on, Audrey, let's go find Amy.
But it was my idea. So then I looked in my book, and Cinderella doesn't look like me, and she does look like Amy McAllister. And my crayons were right there, so I started coloring. At first, I just wanted to put some different colored people in it, but then I just felt madder and madder and madder, so I started scribbling. I felt terrible.
I'm sure you did. And I think we should talk to Francine. You know, whenever something like that happens to me, I feel terrible and lonely, too.
Mr. Allen, I'm just as good as Amy McAllister. Don't you think I could be Cinderella?
Of course. Anyone can be Cinderella, no matter what color they are.
Boy, if I ever make up a book of Cinderella, I'd put all sorts of different colored people in it so kids wouldn't feel left out.
Now, that's one thing you can do. Make your own book of Cinderella.
Really?
Sure. And when you're done, maybe I can borrow it so that all the kids can read it in the library.
Yeah, I could do that. And Cinderella's gonna look just like me.
Or you could make up a whole new fairy tale. And I thought of something you and I could do together. We could write a letter to the artist of this Cinderella and tell her how you feel when you look at her pictures.
Yeah, we could do that. And wait till those guys see the Cinderella I'm gonna write.
Audrey! Audrey, I've been looking for you. I changed my mind about Cinderella.
You have?
Yeah, I think you could be just as good as Cinderella as anybody. no matter what she looks like in a book. I went and looked at my book, and I looked in the mirror, and you may not have noticed that the prince doesn't look like me either. And since I want to be the prince, then you should be able to be Cinderella.
Catalina, you really hurt my feelings this morning, and it made me feel like I never want to play with any of you or Annie McAllister ever again.
But I'm your friend, Audrey. I'm sorry. I just wasn't thinking about your feelings. And Amy's your friend, too. Besides, it's not her fault that she looks like pictures of Cinderella. She was born that way.
I still don't want to be in this play anymore.
But it won't be fun without you. Come on, let's go tell Francine and Arthur that it's stupid to pick Cinderella or the prince or the fairy godmother by what color they are.
You mean you'll do that with me?
Yeah, come on.
And I'm going to tell her and Arthur that they hurt my feelings.
Come on, Audrey.
In a minute, Catalina. Thanks, Mr. Allen. I don't think that I need you to talk to Francine anymore, but can I come and talk to you again?
Anytime. I hope you're feeling better, Audrey.
Kind of. I don't feel so lonely anymore, but I still feel mad.
I know. Let's keep talking. And you know what? You've reminded me of something. I'm going to work even harder to make sure that nobody feels left out in our library.
And I'm going to start thinking about what I'm going to say to Francine. And then we can write that letter. So long, Mr. Allen.
Okay, so long, Audrey. Come back soon.